I think, man, I don't have an issue with Juju on the list either. The only reason when I think of Juju's pressure, I think of the fact that Steelers already drafted Chase Claypool. So if, obviously the Steelers had other needs that they could have addressed, whether it was running back, whether it was on defense, whether any other position, offensive line, they chose to take Chase Claypool. So for me, that lets me know that they already view him as, hey, look, man, if it doesn't work out with Juju, you're going to be the guy. So for me, when I think of Juju, I think of the pressure, number one, to stay in Pittsburgh. You're going to have to ball out. You're going to have to prove that, hey, I'm the guy going forward. But then from a league standpoint, he's going to have to also be able to prove that, hey, I'm good enough that you can pay me as a number one receiver, and you're gonna be fine with that investment in me because I can produce like that. But it's more so going to be based off what he does this season. That's the pressure that I think of Juju. It's the contract element of it. Do you want to stay in Pittsburgh? Or even if you don't stay in Pittsburgh, are you trying to get paid? Because the only way that's going to happen is by him producing. If he goes out and has an average year, that's going to kill his market. Because it's going to be 2 years removed from AB and 2 years of him being the guy and not having the numbers, regardless of whatever happens.
Unless all it takes is one team to still believe.
Understandable. What the thing that he has on his side is he's young.
Yeah.
He's young. That's a huge benefit for him. I mean, he's younger than Joe Burrow right now. So I think that's the biggest benefit for him. So he still has time to prove. But regardless if a team believes or not, if he has another bad season this year, he's not going to get paid what the market should have been for him. If it would have been last year, he's getting that check. Or if he was a free agent this year, it would be different. But I think, man, just 2 years removed of not being able to prove that you're that guy that we saw in year one and year two, that's going to have a huge impact on his market. And that's the reason why I see pressure for him in that regard.
Yeah, it's a tough thing because if it's solely based off contract and himself, then I would definitely agree. I guess some of my thinking hinges on the Steelers season. We've talked about this before. I don't think Juju has to have a good year for us to do well. I don't think much of how well the offense does is going to be hinging on Juju. I think it's going to be on Ben and who he has chemistry with and how the offense is run.
But my thing is this, though. You saying that if you're a team, why would you pay Juju then?
No, right. And that's the whole thing with pressure.
Yeah, because it's individual. It's not on the team. We're talking about the individual.
Dude, if Juju has 800 or 900 yards, and he catches everything thrown his way, and that's a good season.
He's gonna get paid.
That's a good. Wait, you think he'll get paid with that?
You said if he has 8 or 900, that's pretty close to 1,000. I don't think he'll get paid number one level money, like number one receiver money, but I think he'll still get paid.
You think that gets it done for him to say he overcame the pressure? Yes, he gets 8 or 900.
Yes,
yeah. See, that's why I think that's a gimme. I think he's gonna do that.
See, I don't know if that's a gimme just yet.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's the question mark surrounding him. Whether it's you need to scheme him to get in some better, more advantageous situation. We talk about moving him back into the slot where he had a lot of his success. Those are some questions.
Yeah,
and then I understand people want to talk about the health element, but my biggest issue is when we use the health excuse. If you weren't telling me you weren't healthy during the season, like I'm not buying that. Like if you're out there on the field, and this is the same thing with James Conner, we talked about that. If you're on the field, we expect a certain level from you. That's the gift and the curse of them being how good they are. The expectation when they're on the field is A-class performance, A-class productivity. So you can't have C-level productivity and then say, well, I'm hurt, because we don't want to hear that. And then when you factor in that Deontay Johnson was hurt, also had surgery this offseason, not once did we ever hear about him complaining about an injury either, and he still was able to still produce. So I think that's the biggest difference right now when I'm thinking of Juju and why I think he has to have that type of productivity. And it can't be, well, I was dealing with this injury or I had this going on. Like, you get that pass this past season, because here in Pittsburgh, we're giving him that pass. Nationally, I don't think they're doing that, but just because of the Pittsburgh element, you give him a pass, but he won't get that pass again if he has another season like that.
Yeah, like I said, dude, I just think the 800 or 900 yards is a gimme. I don't know why I'm thinking that. I just think he's going to bounce back, and there's going to be really nothing to it.